shape. Stacy Irvine is here. It's not just about the eating clean. We definitely want you to clean up your diet, but we also want you to get moving.
Always.
We're not talking about doing an hour-and-a-half long boot
don't
camp.
be sad out there.
Yeah, don't be sad. This is very manageable. We're breaking it down
totally
into little manageable pieces,
Yes.
and we'll get you out there doing a squat challenge, because we're going to have a different fitness challenge happening every month throughout the year. And it's about squats. Why are squats important?
Squats are, in my mind, they're one of the best exercises. We use them for evaluation, we use them for training. They're one of the most effective ways to train your lower body, and very importantly to realize it's your backside of your lower body.
Okay.
Hamstrings, glutes, low back. Those are all the areas that get neglected in our everyday life because we're very front focused now. You know, we sit, we tighten this all up, we use all these muscles. We often don't get our back muscles because we sit on them.
Right. So we're not focused on them. And what happens to your mobility if you cannot do a proper squat?
Squat is a functional movement that we all need. Okay, you need it to go down and pick something up, right? You need it to sit up from standing. That is crucially important, and that's why we have to be able to do a squat.
So we wanted to break it down for you in a series of pictures, and that first one was of you doing a perfect squat. That should be your alignment.
Yes.
The second thing you want to look at is you were focused on a couple of muscles, well, a lot of muscles, but primarily your quads, and that's what you're seeing there with the yellow in that picture. Your quads are super important, and they're a huge muscle, which means you're burning a lot of calories.
You're burning a lot of calories, and when you train them, you burn more calories every day then because they're one of your major movers. We have to have strong quads. And remember with your knee problem, your quads are directly impacting your knees.
Absolutely.
If your quads are weak, you're going to have knee problems, which is going to affect your overall mobility, and we don't want that. We want to avoid that.
Aside from the quads, we just showed you the glutes as well. So of course we're all glutes obsessed because Beyonce,
of course,
or Kim Kardashian. No, but there are so many other reasons why you should be into working your glutes, and it's because it's a strong muscle that's going to be holding the backside of your body
and
together.
it's the muscle that we lose. So when you look at elderly people, you'll see a lot of glute atrophy, and we have to avoid that. And it's easy to avoid. You just have to do squats, and that's why they're so important.
Really important. Okay, let's start then. How do we do a
let's
proper
break it down.
squat?
Okay, so what you want to do, a common mistake I see, this is by far the most common.
Yes.
Stance too narrow. And then when I say to someone, do a squat, all of a sudden their knees poke forward.
Right.
Okay.
Can you do that from the side, just so we can see what that looks like? So where should your knees not be?
Your knees should not go past your toes. You should always be able to see your toes. Okay. This is crucially important. And if you're too tight, so if you have your feet in too tight, everything with your hips is going to feel really awkward. You're actually not going to be able to do a proper squat. So we want to move out. We say shoulder width or a little bit wider than hip width. The other important thing to note is we're all different. All our bodies are different. We all have different tightness. We all have different weakness. So when we say perfect squat, you're looking perfect for you.
Good.
Don't stop doing it. You might need to go a little lower until you get some more mobility or get some more strength. But just work with what you've got always, okay? So a little bit wider is easier. If you need to, you turn your toes out a little bit as well.
Yes.
Okay? The first movement from a squat is called a hip hinge. Sometimes I have people, I say karate chop your hips, stick your butt out behind you, and then come down, and that should put you into a really good squat motion. If you struggle with that,
for us?
yes.
Oh, a chair is a smart tool to use.
So always squat to a chair. So see if I'm going to sit down in the chair, I automatically go in the right position. Okay, so this is a great way to train your squat. The more you train it properly, the more you're going to do it properly.
Okay.
How many times during the day do we do this? We get up from a chair.
All the time.
We have to have this motion. So we groove the right motion, we groove the right technique. Another common problem is people think a squat is bending from your back. It's not. It's your glutes. It's these muscles here. It has nothing to do with your back. So you want to keep your chest up and your neck relaxed. So you come into it like that. So if you were just watching my upper body, you wouldn't see a lot of motion. you would just see all the motion happening down here. And these are the muscles I want to train.
Right, you're like a well-oiled machine, like squirt, 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 like you got oil in all the right parts.
Right.
Because to go up and down like that, it's actually quite hard. You're using a lot. You're using your core, your glutes, your quads, and your hips. I think a lot of us have very tight hips.
We do.
And so that's also going to change the way you do your squats or limit your mobility.
Right. And then, so say you've mastered this, and it's getting easy, and in the squat challenge, we're going to get the reps way up there.
Yes.
And so say you're getting up to 100 reps.
Yeah.
What do you do now? So we can add a weight.
Ooh.
So a nice way to add a weight is called a goblet squat. So we just want to hold it in really tight.
Do you hear how the baby feels about adding a weight?
He doesn't like the weight. I feel like, you know what?
Then just don't add the weight.
He's already good at squats. That's why he doesn't care. He can do them. He can do them better than all of us.
Well, that's what Stacy said. The interesting thing is that when they're babies and toddlers, they squat automatically. They can go all the way down.
Perfect squat technique automatically, and then we lose it as we get older and we lose our mobility. One-legged squat is another great way to increase the intensity, coming down, coming up.
Yes, advanced, which is great.
Yep.
So this is what you need to do. Hashtag all of your moves Cityline Fit. As she said, we're incrementally bringing the number up of how many squats you do. We're going to do 4 days on, 1 day of rest for your tushy. So day 1 will be 30 squats. And you know what? If you want to record that video, roll on that video.
That would be amazing.
Post it on Twitter, post it on your Facebook. Get your friends involved. Do it in groups. Do it at work. We're going to do it at work.
We're going to do it at work. I do it everywhere. I do it at, I've got pictures at the baseball diamond, at gardening, everywhere. Squat everywhere, squat all the time.
Get it in and you're going to feel actually a lot healthier about your life. You'll feel good.